Hmm. Shall we start now, do you think?
Yeah, go for it.
Will now be good?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Elizabeth Carter, and I'm the email marketing manager at Charity Digital, and I've been in the charity sector for over 20 years. Today's session is going to be very informal, so please feel free to keep your camera on and walk through the presentation. And I'm going to be switching between screens as well to show you some features in Digital in sort of a live demo. So please bear with me and have patience when I change screens. We'll have a Q&A at the end, and also please share any experiences that you might have with all of us in the chat, as it's good to learn from one another. We will be recording today, and also got closed captions are available. The recording together with the slides will be sent to you by myself in a few days' time, just in a follow-up email. And if we do have any sound or visual issues, then just let us know. We've got James on board. James is my colleague, and he will be helping out with any issues that we do have. Also, we'll be sending out a feedback form immediately after the session, and we would really appreciate your giving your feedback, as these focus sessions that we're doing are relatively new, and we really want to bring to you the best experience possible. So it will help us to know what we need to change and improve. So the topic today is basically, I've summarized it in the challenges facing heritage organizations in email marketing, general tips and advice. And as I said, I'm going to be doing a live demo, not of all the features, but just of one or two as well. So let's talk about the way that I'll be approaching this. And yeah, sort of the challenge that are facing you maybe, and you can tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Maintaining engagement, privacy and security concerns we're going to have a look at. Look at building and maintaining email lists, content relevance and social media, measuring your URL and impact, and also connecting up to other platforms as well. So let's go right in and talk about maintaining engagement, accessibility and ease of technology. So according to the RNAB, approximately 2 million people in the UK are living with sight loss. And there's quite a lot that are registered, 360,000 as blind or partially sighted. And these numbers include individuals with various degrees of visual impairment, including those who may have difficulty accessing digital content, such as emails, what we're talking about today. Now, effective and accessible email campaign designs are really needed to support and enable those who have these physical communication and cognitive barriers to have more positive experiences. So we need to take into consideration just a few things. Obviously, your campaigns have to look professionally clean. But just to point out here on the left-hand side, your font should be at least 14, buttons of good size. We'll talk about plain text a little bit later on, but that's a must. And the color contrast is important to bear in mind, as you may have subscribers with color blindness, and contrasting shades are actually more effective than light plain emails, especially for those who are colorblind. So this is just a bit of advice on there for you, that the Color Oracle is a great way to find out how users are with colorblind perceive your email. Now, if you look on the right-hand side, you've just got a couple of examples there. So the text is split up into paragraphs. It's for easy accessibility. The layout must be open with white space, readable text font and sizes. The recipients must be able to browse through the email with very clear calls to action. So those could be your buttons. And we will have a look at adding alt text to the images for the visually impaired subscribers. Obviously, goes without saying that you always have to test everything. And down at the bottom, just wanted to point out to you that many email developers use Microsoft Flash Kincaid Reading Ease Test to check their email readability. So it's always best, obviously, with emails written in simple language with clarity and focus, and that resonate with your audience. So let's talk about the easy editor, and this is where I'm going to be switching screens. So many people, just bear with me, just 2 ticks while I go over. There we go. I think that's fine, isn't it? Yeah. So many people move over to MailChimp from MailChimp to Digital because they say that they prefer the editor. It's not as clunky, it's easy drag and drop. So I'm just going to briefly show you, this is the dashboard that you're currently seeing. On the left-hand side, we've got all sorts of features down there, and you can see what emails have recently been sent and what you're working on down at the bottom. So if I just go over to the email just in here, and hopefully my Wi-Fi will keep up with everything. Just going to move my Zoom bar. Okay, so let's just go down to this one. Let's have a look at this one here. So once you're inside, you probably recognize a few things. If you're already using email marketing platforms, you will recognize lots of similar features, but it is a drag and drop. And we have the build here that you can move over, lots of elements. And you've got your buttons, you've got your videos, we've got our socials, we've got our dynamic content, which I'll touch on a little bit later on, our sharing, so that's in your tab there. If you really like something that you're working on, you can grab it and put it over onto the left-hand side, so that will store it for future use. We've also got our styles tab here. The styles tab allows you to edit your background, your color themes. It also allows you to look at your design options as well. So you can stack your content, or you can show on one device or on your mobiles, or preserve image sizes there. Now, obviously, you need to have your emails that are responsive. So according to HubSpot, 46% of all emails now occur on mobile, the opening of the emails. So Digital does give you this great tool in your styles there that you can just preserve and do anything that you want with your images and your style. So everything is drag and drop. We've got images here. If I just click on that, it will bring up the image manager, and you can store your images in different folders if you wish. You can also crop your images, put text over your images, put filters over, do all sorts of things there. And we can, as you can see, if I just go back to the building blocks, we've got your column there, which has been moved over to create the articles that you've got side by side just there. Down at the bottom, you can create your footer as you wish. And up at the top, we've got quite a lot of facilities and tools that you can use with your editing as well.
Sorry to interrupt quickly, Liz. We've had a question. What is HubSpot?
HubSpot. Oh, that's a really good one. HubSpot. Probably, James, you could answer that a lot better than I could. It is a platform that is an email marketing platform, but also it's a CRM, right, James?
Yes, I believe so.
Yep.
Yeah. HubSpot CRM platform.
Yep. Yeah. So HubSpot, actually, I quite like referring to HubSpot because they do lots of investigation and they have lots of benchmark stats and everything like that. So yes, if you're after a nice CRM that has an email marketing tool integrated with it, then HubSpot might be an option for you. Great question. Thank you. So creating your plain text, we will just click on Save and Continue. And it brings it up. All you have to do is to generate your plain text with a click of a button just here, and it generates it for you, and then you can tweak it as you wish, and you can put the titles in and everything that you would like in your plain text. Up at the top, obviously, you can see all of these in your plain text that you have in your HTML. So personalization, which we will touch on a little bit later on as well. You can put that in. And okay, so let's just go to that one there, just up at the top, the data fields there. And if you wanted to dive into the HTML, you can go straight into the code and you can make any changes that you wish. So I'm going to go back to the presentation, and from our current slide, this one here, hopefully that's all working fine. Now let's move over to another challenge. Okay, security and spam concerns. I think we all do have spam concerns, some more than others. And the heritage organisations are typically concerned about where the data is stored, particularly due to sensitive nature of the information that they handle. And they often collect and store sensitive data. This might be you. You might resonate with what I'm saying or might not. And artifacts or personal information about donors, your members, your visitors. So a question is always asked, where is the data stored? And .digital use the EU region, which utilises the Microsoft Azure North and West Europe facilities, which is basically in the UK. And I know that with other platforms, there are lots of sectors that are a bit concerned about maybe with MailChimp, they're not too sure where it's stored, but definitely .digital, it is in the UK. So another question is, how many users can I have and how can I set the permissions? Now, with .digital, going through ourselves, you can have an unlimited amount of users. And you can set their permissions. They're allowed to access certain areas or they can be restricted. You can set up a two-factor authentication, which is an extra layer of security. And that makes sure that people trying to access the account, they are who they say they are. And that works by sending a verification SMS message to the mobile number that's stored in the user. Let's move on. Now, obviously, the next challenge is emails not getting caught in spam filters. So .digital does provide you with the ability to see the reason for the soft bounce, and that might be a failure on the DNS side of things, or it might be that it has been caught up in a spam filter, might be a soft bounce, might be that the inbox is full. And so it'll give you the reason for that. And there are quite a few reasons why it gets stuck in spam filters. And I'm just going to labor on this point because it is always a question that is asked in any sector, not just the heritage. So the email content. Now, some spam filters are designed to analyze email content for specific keywords or phrases, and they could be associated with spam. So unfortunately, certain terms and phrases commonly found in the heritage related content might inadvertently trigger the filters. And .digital offers a content spam score feature as well. You can have a look how much you've scored if you're a bit worried about it. Now, the second one is the sender reputation, and recipients may be unfamiliar with your name and your organization, especially if you haven't interacted with them before. So if the email server, whatever you're using, the platform is sending these messages, also has a poor reputation, and it could be flagged up as spam as well. Now, the authentication, this is the lack of proper authentication, such as the sender policy framework or the domain keys identified mail. That can lead to emails being flagged up as suspicious and as spam. So you always need to find yourself a good email marketing platform that has those in place. Now, I put here limited engagement data because I know that heritage organisations do struggle to maintain high engagement rates due to the niche nature of your content and your audience. And unfortunately, low engagement metrics such as low open rates or high spam complaints can signal the spam filters that your recipients, it will lead eventually to deliverability issues as well. Now, I put shared infrastructure because I do know of some heritage organisations when I was working with the Heritage Digital Academy. that we did a couple of years ago, which is a fantastic course, and you can still have a look on our website if you're interested in looking at the videos on that. And some may utilize shared email service or an infrastructure, especially if you're part of a larger umbrella organization and you rely on third-party email service providers. So if the other users on the same infrastructure engage in spammy behavior, we hope that they don't, but they might do, it could negatively impact your deliverability of your legitimate emails. Now, the quality of your data, inaccurate and outdated subscriber data, such as invalid email addresses, inactive subscribers, can trigger spam filters. So sending those emails to non-existent or outdated addresses is going to increase the likelihood of bounce backs, and that will have a negative effect on your sender reputation and deliverability. The large amount of emails, if you are sending out sporadically and you send out a lot all of a sudden, and then you don't send out anything for a long time, you may trigger a spam filter as well. The recipient engagement. Now, if your recipients frequently mark the emails as spam, obviously they're not engaging with you, or they're not opening it, or they're not clicking on it, then that will impact your reputation. The formatting is very important. We have had a look at some of the features and some of the things that you can use and you can do to have a really good email design. But emails with excessive number of images relative to the text could trigger spam filters. You have to be very careful with Gmail on that. They quite like more text than image. And heritage organizations, some of them do rely heavily on visual content. So it's good to ensure that you've got your balance right, probably 50-50 text image to avoid triggering those. And the last one I've put, because this is pretty much out of your control really, is technical issues with email service, and misconfigurations can trigger spam filters as well. Now you say, what do you need to do? Well, to mitigate these, you have to keep an eye on your reporting, obviously, and you take steps to improve your deliverability by cleaning your data, and make sure, as I said, that the email platform that you're using does have the appropriate authentication. And Digital has ISO 27001, which is quite long, but it's a certified information security management system which identifies and manages risks, so that your confidentiality, your integrity, and the information you have in there is secured. Now, one way to avoid sending mass emails in just one go is to use the Digital sending time optimization. And Digital analyzes the historical data for each content individually, and it analyzes the rolling period of the previous 90 days from hitting the send button. So for your regular or your semi-regular senders, this generally gives several historical engagements, and then it's the 24-hour optimized period begins when the send button is selected. Now let's move on to another challenge, which is building and maintaining those email lists that you do have. So we're on to sign-up forms. And the heritage organizations, obviously you have very diverse audiences. And that you could be ranging from casual enthusiasts or dedicated to historians, people that follow you intensely or people that only engage every now and then. So engaging with your audience can be challenging, and you need to craft the content that appeals to all of the various interests and the demographics. So you need to maintain, obviously, your mission and your values. That's the most important. Now, growing a quality email list, you need to do it within the constraints of the data protection laws. And I know that heritage organizations do need to rely heavily on your organic methods of list building. your website signups, and you need to ensure that they are compliant with GDPR. So to create a sign-up form in .digital is really easy. You would go to the feature for creating it, gives you the code. You place this code on your website and you brand it, customize it accordingly. And yep, it's really just a few clicks of the button, and you can put a content, a checkbox in there for consent, and you can send them to a thank you page, or you can trigger a thank you email afterwards, or you can take them on a thank you email journey as well. Okay, so obviously being transparent is really crucial in email marketing, especially for your heritage organization. You need to build trust with your subscribers. You need to maintain compliance with the data protection regulations. So .digital gives you the the good feature of marketing preferences, and you can provide your subscribers with options to manage their email preferences. That could include the frequency of the emails, the types of content they want to receive. It's quite easy for your subscribers to change their preferences, so they don't unsubscribe from everything, but they can just unsubscribe from one or two. And you can place this on your website if you wish. So with this feature, you can create unlimited preferences, and they can be unlimited categories to put your preferences in as well. So not all the preferences could belong to a category. They could also be a standalone one. Now, I'm just going to mention some ways that you can maintain your email recipients. First of all, I'm going to mention the .digital data watchdog. It's a powerful and intelligent analysis tool that protects .digital's sender reputation and yours and your delivery rates, so you can build nice, clean lists. So no email address makes it into the system without first being checked by the data watchdog. And this uses a complex sort of set of algorithms and checks, so it can predict and it can detect and can prevent abuse. And it also helps to safeguard against users sending emails to email addresses that might damage your reputation. Also, personalization. Now, obviously, we know that personalizing your emails is so important. It engages, keeps people there. It's actually a really nice touch that social media can't do, only email marketing can do. And you need to use personalization as much as you can and be highly relevant with your email subscribers. So with .digital, you can personalize the subject line of your email, the name of your email, who it's from, your friendly from, and the design of your email as well, the plain text, or you can personalize a survey page or a form. Segmentation. Now, for the MailChimp users that we may have on board, segments is sort of a different words or technology really, or it's just a different way of tagging. I think it is in MailChimp, the MailChimp platform. So you can use segments to cater for specific campaigns rather than sending out just one size fits all message. You can target based on contact behavior. So are they clicking? Are they opening? Are they replying? How many have they opened in the last 6 months, etc. On the data, your data fields, on maybe address books lists that you've got in there. Are they in a certain marketing preference? And also you can have a look at purchase history as well. So I really, really like actually using the segmentation, especially for filtering out those people that aren't engaging with you, because you need to put them to one side, because eventually, as we've said, that will damage your sender reputation. Also for people maybe that are signing up to special events that have donated in the past, you can just pull through the data and segment them through and filter and be more targeted. Let's move over to content relevance. Now, triggered campaigns, automation. I hope that you're all using some sort of platform where you are triggering your campaigns, because it's so important. And I've just put down a few things here on the left-hand side. Personalized communication. So obviously it allows your organization to send timely and relevant messages based on specific actions or events. That might be membership renewals or donations or other interactions. Now, you will save lots of time. At the beginning, it's a bit of a pain, but once you've got it working, then it will streamline those repetitive tasks and your workflows, and it will enable your organization to save time and resources. And you may do that even with welcome emails or event reminders or donation acknowledgements or volunteer journeys or fundraising, community engagement, whatever. So I have put here consistent engagement because it helps trigger the emails and campaigns. It helps to ensure that there is consistent communication with the supporters through the journeys. And whether that's onboarding, maybe new members, or just providing timely updates to upcoming events. Yeah, I think that's a very important tool to be used to have this in mind. I've put nurture relationships as well, because heritage organisations, as with everybody, you need to nurture the relationships with your supporters, with your donors. And again, at the end of the day, you really need to be looking at using everything that you can within your email marketing platform. So on the right-hand side, .digital give you the types of triggers that they offer, and they will provide valuable insights and analytics for you to move forward. So now let's move over to the program builder as we're talking about automation. So marketing automation and the program builder helps you to respond to your audience's actions and behaviors in a timely and personalized manner, as we have been talking about. Now, .digital offer a top-notch automation program builder. And I'm just going to whiz over to this so I can show that. Let's go. I hope you can all see what I'm doing. Down here, we've got our programs. Have we got any questions, James, so far?
We do. I don't know whether to hold them till the end. Okay. Do you want me to ask?
Well, shall we hold them to the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's go to all programs that we've got here. And as you can see, you can have as many programs as you wish. And you can give it a name that's relevant to you. And let's just go into the training monkey. You can keep them as draft when you're ready to activate them. So I just wanted to give you a quick preview into this one. As you can see on the left-hand side, you can drag over anything that you wish. You can drag over your time delays, your decisions, your other nodes. You can build expert journeys. You can just leave them running, easily edit any campaign while the journey is active. These are really good for fundraising, just a click of a button. You can create a rule that can be based on a data field, or it can be based on a segment, take people down a different journey, maybe if they've clicked on a link, or if a data field has changed. Easily put your nodes in, your end node, etc., etc. So these, once you've got those set up, you can test them and then you can activate them. At the moment, it's got a validation here on red that's saying that I can't activate this until I have actually put in my rule here. Okay, so it just flags up when you need to finish it off. So it's a really, really good tool to bring people into those fundraising activities and welcome journeys and anything that you would like to know more about. Then you can just send me an email. And I'm very happy to take anyone through a separate sort of walkthrough of the automation tool, if anybody would be interested in that. James.
Lovely. Happy for the questions?
Any questions? Or
Yeah.
I'm going to go back.
If you've still got more to do, maybe we keep the questions till
Yeah,
the very end.
let's keep the questions to the very end. Okay. Oops. From current slide is what I want. There we go. So, dynamic content. Now, Digital's dynamic content is actually a lifesaver. If you want to tailor your email campaign so different groups of contents receive different content, so offers or images. So supposing you have you're in an organization that's national and you're just sending one email out, you are targeting multiple audiences. Maybe the content is different from Wales than it is from Scotland, than it is from Northern Ireland, than it is from England. So that's just one email going out, and you're just using your variables and your variations to insert the different content in there. Now, you can see that you've got geomapping. Now, that's an amazing feature to give you a visual overview of where your contacts are opening up your email. Throughout the world, and also you could be local area, you can scroll right into street names and streets. And you can also view sort of the hotspots. So obviously the red is the most concentrated, well, the white right in the middle of the red. With a click of a mouse, you can just create a new list from the people that you have selected in there. And on the right-hand side, it just gives you an idea. Yep, pulling these people in because there's an event going on in a certain area there. Now, let's just talk about content relevance and social media. So obviously, we have mentioned that you need to be relevant with your emails. And I know that the heritage organisations may struggle to get that right balance between sort of promotional content, educational material, event updates, other information, and it can be overwhelming, and you can maybe mass mail too much your audience. So I've just put a few things in here that you really need to keep an eye on. So one of the things is to develop valuable content that we've talked about. That also could include sort of storytelling, sharing narratives, historical facts that will resonate with your audience and evoke emotion. Showcase your unique offers, experiences, opportunities, behind the scene tours, your archive discoveries, your highlights, what sets your organization apart. You can offer valuable and informative content that educates, entertains, or actually inspires your audience, those tips there, the projects that you're working on. And lastly, do not forget to use video, because video content tends to be more memorable. And video, the viewers of the videos retain actually 95% of a message when they watch it, rather than compared to 10% when they're reading it in text. Also, really, really important, use your own assets, your own images, and your own personal stories. So let's move on to social media. So they go hand in hand, social media and email marketing, they complement each other. They can be very effectively used for your organization. Just put down here, just extended reach, increased visibility, your content distribution, your promotion of events, real-time updates, community building, and encourage social sharing. So whenever you send out an email, you follow that up with your social sharing there. So it's really important to incorporate it in, and .digital offer you the social sharing links, icons, which are just over here. You can incorporate all of these, and plus not just the social links that follow us, but also the sharing. So your email recipients can share your campaign on their social sites. And then you can also share, maybe put a sign up on Facebook. There's other things that you can do for your social sharing with your Facebook audience. If you want to know more about the .digital cross-channel reach and how you can use it, then please reach out to me afterwards, and I'll be really happy to explain more. So this is probably, I think this is one of my last slides. Measuring your return on investment and also your impact, really important. And this is using your analytics tool and your reporting. And I'm actually going to whiz over and show you this in a live as well. So before I do that, though, I just want to point out that Digital is an open source platform, and they have a fantastic developer hub, and you can get all of your API calls for that, because you may want to connect to other platforms as well. I'm sure it's a bit of a nightmare if you've got lots of different platforms, especially old ones that you've inherited, and you need to connect them all up. So yeah, as long as you have a little bit of knowledge, you might need to use a third party if you want to use the open source Connect developer IPA connections there. And with some platforms, for example, the other day, I know that with maybe Donify or Beacon, they offer a small monthly fee, whereas you can just, of a click of a button, it's a simple plugin, you can connect up to Digital there. Now, Digital have created their own integrations as well. So I'm just going to show you that, and that's down here in the Connect hub here. So going back probably about 5 or 6 years, Digital created a customized plugin for Salesforce, if you're using Salesforce, and also Microsoft Dynamics as well. They also offer other integrations. And just when it comes up, you can have a look at these. So there's a long list of integrations just down there. I'm not going to go too fast because I'll make you all a bit dizzy. But just so you can just have a look down there, and we can go down a little bit further. Okay. So if you wanted to know more about these, you can just go through and filter through the categories here, or if you just go back to the Connect hub here, you can have a look at other extensions. Your digital marketing channels is there, your program extension profiles. This is quite in depth, so I'm not going to go into any more detail about that. But I would say is please reach out to me, and I can organize a demo with Digital with Tracy over there, and they can show you in more detail how all of these integrations do work. So let me go now to my current slide and useful resources. So pricing, probably some of you might be interested. There's a link on there. You can have a look at what support offers we offer. We've got 3 of them. We've got a freebie one, you don't pay anything. We've got a light and a pro. And also, we don't charge for uploading or storing your content, your contacts. We don't charge for a license fee either. And we just charge you for your annual allowance, and you will buy up your email credits upfront, and you can send them out as and when you wish. Questions?
So I was just getting that link so I could post it in the chat.
Brilliant. Thank you, James.
Thank you to everyone who submitted some questions so far. I've made a note of those, so I'll run through those now. If you've got any more, please feel free to paste them in the chat, and I'll make sure that Liz answers your questions. So first question was, where do you sit on integration between an ESP and the CRM to maintain data quality? We struggle internally to change the fear around holding data in the ESP.
I think, first of all, you have to make an internal decision. Where do you want your data stored? Generally, most people store their data on the CRM, and that's the bulk of their data. And then they would create certain API calls that would just bring over, or it would add into your ESP, which is your email platform, certain information that you need, and it will pull off the information that the email marketing platform has that you want to put into your CRM. So that could be You're pulling in the first name, you're pulling the email address from your CRM, and you're pulling in from your email marketing platform to the CRM who's unsubscribed, who's suppressed, and who doesn't want to hear from you in a certain communication. So I think that's an internal decision. Where is the bulk of your data going to be stored? Do you want it stored in your email marketing platform, or do you want it stored in your CRM? But the integration doesn't have to bring everything in to each one. It could just bring in certain calls. I hope that helps.
Thank you very much, Liz. Next question is the sign-up code compatible with sites that use Drupal?
Yes.
Great.
Although I haven't personally tried it out myself, but I haven't heard anything else to the contrary. So you can place it on, if your website is using Wix, or if it's using WordPress, or if it's using Drupal. Obviously, you would have to it's raw code that you're given, and you just customize it and brand it accordingly. You may have to put it in a little iframe type thing, but yes.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Liz. The final one that we've got so far, but please feel free to keep them coming if you've got any questions or any questions on what's just been discussed. How would these extensions work with Eventbrite for selling heritage tour tickets?
As far as I'm aware, it's just a straightforward plugin. We don't use Eventbrite with .digital ourselves as an organization, and I don't have any first-hand knowledge with a client, a heritage client that is using it. But if you can leave your email address, I will follow up, and we might be able to sort out a little Eventbrite short demo for you to see how that works.
Thank you very much. Just had another one through. What do you do if you don't have an ESP or a CRM? As we're a small organization, volunteer run. This is all new to us.
Yeah. Yeah. We, as a charity that focuses on impact for small charities, offer this platform with reduced rates. So if you are such a small charity, you can start off with MailChimp that offers a free package. And I believe you can have up to 2,000 contacts in MailChimp, I believe, and that's for free. Now, with Charity Digital, our prices, if you're sending out a very small amount, our prices are reduced and they are very economical. We will offer you support as well, so we will help you get set up. And then what you can do with your data is keep it in just your email marketing platform. We do have some very small non-for-profit organizations, and they're not charities, because we do offer also the .digital product, not just for registered charities, but also for organizations that may work with charities, or that are trusts, or that are working in the charity sector, but there might be a limited company. So these organizations are very small, and they upload all of the data they have, and they keep it in the email marketing platform as if it was their own CRM. So that's where they have it stored, and they can import and they can export, and they can also filter through depending on their data fields.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Liz. Had another one through. What sets you apart from another system like HubSpot?
Well, what we'll do is we will follow up with a comparison between .digital and MailChimp, but I haven't actually got a comparison between .digital and HubSpot. I don't think .digital have actually written one up. So it would have to be looking at the features that HubSpot have. I know that HubSpot initially started more as a CRM, and then they gravitated over to creating a really good email marketing tool as well. What sets us apart from MailChimp is probably the support that we offer, because you will always get personal, customized support, and you could just hop on a call, or you can just email. And yeah, I think the support is quite crucial, especially for those charities that need that. They don't have a lot of resources. Also, the pricing, you would have to look at the pricing. I'm not too sure what HubSpot pricing is, but what we offer is a very good basic email marketing platform with discounted rates, because we are obviously aware that we are a charity ourselves, and we know that charities do struggle with their budgets.
Great, thank you, Liz. So Oliver asks, we have just set up a CRM, which is Donify, but we don't have anything for sending out emails, although at the moment we don't even have a list of people to email. We don't have a lot of budget for marketing of any kind. How much is .digital roughly?
Well, I would need to know how many emails you'd be sending out to individual people on an annual basis, and then I can give you pricing for that. Some clients on a monthly basis just spend £6, and some clients are spending up to 3,000. It depends on how many emails, millions or just a few. So what I would really need to know, I can pick up with you, and just approximately, if you don't even have a list, then I'll probably say, right, let's go with 1,000 or 2,000, and then I can come back with pricing on that. But what we do, because we are based on not on a monthly fixed fee, so you have to, if you reach your limit, you can't send any more. Because you buy email credits up in advance, it's like buying your mobile credits. You send as and when you wish. If you're running out, we'll flag it up with you and you can top up. If you've got email credits that are left over, we'll roll over those unused email credits into a new renewal.
Do you want to maybe briefly mention any advice for starting up collecting those email addresses?
Yeah, but obviously you've got a website there, depending on what website you're using. For example, if you're using Wix, then you can easily put a form on there to create to get those signups. So you don't automatically have to connect up to an email marketing platform as soon as you've got your website up and running. You can collect those people and you can send to those people just by using your Outlook. Obviously, with your Outlook, you won't know who's opening them up, and it's a bit more manual, and you can't be as targeted. That's when it's just baby steps when you're starting up. That's when you might want to go to an email marketing platform, but definitely with your website, create that sign up form, get those people in, and then when you've reached your limit that you can really do it manually out of Outlook, then that's probably when you want to start looking at, we need an email marketing platform to use. Also, social media, get them in via social media. I know there's lots of websites you can just connect up and get those sign up forms in on your social media. Yeah.
It's a very good point. So Oliver, who just asked that, has sent their email address, and so I will pass that on to you, Liz.
Perfect. Thank you, Oliver.
Are there any final questions for Liz? Can be similar to what Oliver just asked about advice on how to start up collecting email addresses. Anything along those lines? How often you should send your emails, anything like that?
No, we're good.
I think we're all good.
Okay. So my last slide is thank you so much for joining. I gave you another email just on the other slide, and this is my email. So you can email me either with the support one or with this one as well. And it's not too late, is it, James, to sign up for our workshops? It's not too late. They're happening. They're happening on the 21st, which is Thursday. And the workshops are aimed at fundraising, marketing, strategy, leadership, and AI, which is one of my favorite topics.
Definitely, yeah. So they're in person on Thursday at Resource for London. So if anyone is around, it's going to be an amazing day. Great opportunity to network and meet other charities and learn and build skills in those sectors.
Okay, brilliant. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining. If you've got any further questions, please get in contact with me and I will follow up with the recording and the slides as well. And yep, it's been a nice session. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And if you've got 2 minutes at the end, if you could just fill out the feedback form, that
Yes.
will really help us help other organisations as well. So
Yes,
thank you very much,
please.
everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.